3 different decks. We have the Be All deck. Ooh, I always forget. It's like backwards where my camera is. Be All. These are short little kind of mantras. I have the Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco that I'm going to pull tonight. And I also have broken out my holographic tarot, which I'm super excited about. Got a good shuffle in that before I started because all the cards were in order. All right, so let us first start with the Be All deck. The collective, what other information do we need to know? Okay, so with the Be All deck, I love this. It is Be Joy, and I will speak on this just for a moment. The mantra says, make your heart sing, bring a smile to your face, and what touches the depths of your soul. And joy, the word joy, is one of the key emotions or feelings that I have intended for myself on paper and with the best, best made plans for years, but it is a very strong conviction that I have this year is to experience more joy, to be more joyful, and to experience more joy. Embody joy. When we embody that energy, I mean, there are other synonyms for that word, but that's a pretty clear, I think you might have a clear idea of what that emotion means. When you say joy, we might think, I always think of like the color like yellow or orange, it's a very kind of like bright, solar, almost kind of expansive energy. And it is a radiant energy. And so when we align with our truth and we align with things that do bring us joy, and like there are simple little joys and pleasures everywhere you look, right? There could be something really big too. But when we allow that energy to kind of permeate our being, it can't help but rise up out of ourselves into our energy field and just to flow out to other people. It is infectious in the most wonderful non-pandemic way ever. And it's not like we can probably be in that energy like all the time, but oh my gosh, it is so beautiful when we are. So think about maybe integrating things that do just make your heart just kind of feel like it is opening up, that bring you joy, that bring you, pleasure, that make you smile, that make you laugh. And like I said, it can be very, very simple things. Like it was the sweetest thing this morning. So Evan, when he goes to his dad's once a week, his dad brings him back like the following day, pretty early in the morning. It's like 7 or 7:30. And Evan has always been my night owl, and so he's not normally on our regular schedule up at that time. It's later because he goes to bed late. But he came in, this morning asleep, and he shared with me that he saw the sunrise this morning on his way back to my house, and he was explaining to me what it looked like, and that there were purples and there were oranges and some pink and dark blue, and there were all these colors, and it was so beautiful. And I love a good sunrise. I love a good sunset, and it just made me so happy that he saw the beauty in that as well. So it could be something as simple as that, but that has such a amazing impact, not only on you, but when he shared that with me, it was like, oh, I love this. This is so good. So joy, definitely something that makes your soul just sing and opened up. All right. Nice message. Good idea. So right. What else do we need to know? For, oh gosh, I want to say survival, but living our best life, and, or just, what is something that is really essential for us to know, for us to embody, for us to keep in mind, for us to implement, either at this time or in the, near future, kind of coming down the pipeline. Let's see. Oh my God, I pulled this again. I pulled this last energy update. It's the tarantula again. Number 13. Okay. It's not that I have a problem with this card. I just feel like in 2 energy updates, when I have used this deck, I have pulled this card. I'm going to pull another one, but I'm going to kind of hit on this for a minute. really what I get about this is so much so of home is where your heart is. That web, I mean, tarantulas make like little dens, you know, it's not just like a little fine spider web, but whenever I think of spiders and webs, you know, it is protection. It is, how you catch your food. It is, a work of art, you know, this instinctual work of art that's just amazing. Well, you, if you're a spider, are producing this out of your own being. And this is really the energy that I'm getting from this card, is kind of what we've talked about and what we need to be aware of is that sustaining yourself, protecting yourself, being able to provide for yourself, but then also a web and all of those little parts, you know, and those designs is that energy of connection, is the energy of networking, you know, really. And so let's kind of hold that message or that energy just for a moment. And I want to pull one more card, okay? And let's see how we kind of work those together. I think there's something significant about the number 13 as well that's on this card here, the tarantula, because 1 + 3 is 4, which has to do with a firm foundation. 4 is like, you know, you've got north, south, east, and west. You've got your 4, you know, your 4 boards or whatever. That is a firm foundation as well. And so I really feel like that is kind of a reminder of something that we need to keep in mind. What makes you feel safe? What makes you feel like you can provide for yourself, your family? And how are you connected and supported by others? And how are you connecting and supporting others as well? Okay. So let's see what another card is. Oh yeah. And then we have the wolf card, which I think is really awesome because we have the full wolf moon coming up. In this card, this has to do with authenticity. Yeah, and this card says connection, very small above the tarantula. This is authenticity. This is stepping into your power. This is no masks, no BS. This is just saying this is who I am. And it is, you know, your energy and what your truth that you're embodying is like meets the room, the other people out here. Like you lead with that before you even show up. You know, there's no doubt. And when we have that authentic energy, we have a lot of confidence in ourselves, but it's not like this inflated confidence, right? It's not ego. It's just saying, I know what skills I have. I know where I fit in. I know what I'm bringing to the table. What do you have to offer? You know, it's like very straightforward. And what I'm also seeing, sorry, I had to kind of just look there. There's something off in the distance. Looks like someone's other ice fishing, maybe. Yeah, I think someone's ice fishing. Where is it? Everything's backwards. Right here. Someone's ice fishing off in the distance because this is a very kind of wintry, snowy scene. But what I'm noticing about this card is there's, you know, a human figure here and then the wolf, and they're staring each other down. And I feel like this is very much, this almost feels like shadow, like what, you know, kind of what the wolf doesn't see, you know, or kind of like what you're cloaked in, what you're kind of trying to hide yourself in. But then wolf is just looking at this person like in the eyes, dead on. It's like, I see you. And I think that is very important to, you know, like literally like making eye contact with people, not being afraid to connect with people in that way, but then also know that you have that confidence and that authenticity that is like radiating out from you through your eyes, you know, and so many people feel that is a very like vulnerable state to be in, or some people find that like sexually arousing, you know, to like make eye contact because you're like, I just connected. But it's just very much like, you know, I'm not looking over here, I'm not distracted, or I'm not paying attention to anything else. I am zeroed in on you, right? And, you know, I want you to be authentic with me, and I will be authentic with you. To me, this also represents our year that we're in. This is a 17. 1 + 7 is 8. 2024 is an 8 number as well. And so I think this is really telling us to embody our truth, embody that authenticity, and like that is not going to steer you wrong. That is going to be a very firm foundation for what we're going to need to tap into for that power, that essence, but then also to really set the course for where we're going. I also think that with both of these animals, some people are terrified of spiders. I'm sure if I ever like came across a big wolf, and most wolves are huge. They're like big animals. I would probably be terrified. But the funny thing is if you've ever seen like wolf behavior, like unless they're like in total predator mode, like they actually will kind of like, they will try to avoid humans. They're like, I don't really want to mix with you unless they're coming to eat you. So if there was a wolf that was that close to me staring me down, I just would probably know that they wanted to eat me. It's just, knowing what situation you're in. But I think that both of these cards, the wolf and the spider, can definitely kind of like speak to like what our kind of hidden fears are, the inadequacy that we may feel that we have. Where do we get our phobias? Where do we get our self-doubt? Things like that. And if we face those things that would be like our shadow, then they're not the shadow anymore. And then they're not like secretly controlling us or running the show. We can just say, okay, cool. I've got that in my arsenal now. And there's nothing that I'm trying to hide away from myself or other people. But basically, if you have things going on in your life, in your personal relationships, like romantic, friends, family, your job, whatever aspects of your human life, if you have things that are going on that are unpleasant, that you really don't like, and it's especially something that is like a reoccurring theme, a theme in a relationship. It's like, well, I thought this job was going to be different, but it's the same old thing, twofold. There is something in that situation that is meant to be like a mirror to teach you a lesson, to help identify something within yourself that you need to be aware of if you don't like that repeating pattern. So the universe, higher self, whatever, is saying, it's been hard for you to actually identify this within yourself or acknowledge it. And so here's an external example that is maybe easier to see, to interact with, to identify. So once you get that, then turn the mirror back on yourself and you can heal whatever needs to be, alchemized or fixed. Now, another thing too is that you can have, this is the other part two of the twofold. So you can have all the grandest intentions, ideas, dreams, wishes, whatever, which are all, can be very, very powerful things. But if it's just a thought, or if it's just a whim, or if it's just a, I wonder if, that's enough of a start. But then if all of your actions, or all of the true essence energy that you are authentically, the vibe that you're really putting out, that is what you're going to attract. That is where you're going to find yourself in repeating situations, dynamics. And this could go all the way back to formative years in childhood, and then you see it repeating in different aspects of your life as a mid-40-year-old woman, just like me, whatever. But when it can't just be surface level, it has to be all the way through, like at this very instinctual, guttural level. Like you have to believe and know your truth of what you really do intend, and then intend to accept, receive, be open to, or to put into action. And so you can't just journal about it and then just go on living your life in the old way, or in this unhealed way, or with these old patterns, and expect anything different. That's just how it works. What you put out, the vibe that you put out will match, the universe will match that in one way, shape, or the other. And it could be, unhealed stuff, childhood wounding or trauma, but then it translates into your job, in your relationship with money, for example. So it might not be like oranges, but it's a common theme, that is kind of like shown itself in a different aspect in your life that might be a way for you to kind of figure it out. It's like, here's a clue, here's an example, what about this, And then we're just like, I don't understand, why is this still going on? But once you realize it and you identify it, then it's just like, oh my gosh, hindsight's 2020, right? So anyway, I think that we are all being called to call BS first and foremost to ourselves, for ourselves, and then to really try to be It's like the four agreements: be impeccable with your word. You know, it is just saying like what you think, what you feel, and what you say, like they should all be in alignment. And dude, like I'm not perfect. I am not perfect. I am still growing and changing and learning and all of those things every moment of every day. But me having these realizations, me going through my life experiences, me channeling these messages and like conveying it to you, like, hey, we help each other out, you know, so it's all good. So I like that. The wolf and the spider. Very, very good totem energies for sure. Okay. Let me pull a couple tarot cards now. Let's see what else comes through. And we have the 10 of Wands. And these are holographic. You like those? I like them. 10 of Wands. We have, oh my God. Sorry. We have, this is 9 of Swords. Holographic 9 of Swords. Let's see what else comes out. What do we need to know? Ah, the Fool card. Yes. Thank you. Okay. So let's pull this together. Let's see if I can do this to make sense. I mean, I'm going to make sense of them. I'm just saying like how I pulled them. So everything's backwards here. Okay, so for me, this is the first card I pulled, second card, and the last card. Okay, and I may pull one more to clarify. Okay, so with Wands, we have a fire energy. This is the 10 of Wands. Okay, and we Wands is fire energy. It is you know, action. What's this dude doing with the wands? Well, he has found all 10 of them and he has bundled them and he's like, mother effer, these are freaking heavy and kind of awkward, but I'm carrying them. I am carrying them. I have collected all of the sticks, but I'm freaking tired. Okay? Sometimes the journey, the lessons, the flags, the you know, the things that we have collected, we're like, I did it, and they're like, oh my God, I'm freaking exhausted. But there is an energy of completion or job well done or new chapter, you know, or it's like the end of a chapter or whatever. Okay, all right, let us integrate this with the 9 of Swords. You know what I love about this card is I love the flowers on the quilt. That's what I like about this card. It's a pretty fancy bed they're in as well. But this is, you know, a card of worry, of remorse, of, oh gosh, how could I have done that, or you know, everything that I've endured. It's definitely like sleepless nights. You know, this might be the stuff that haunts you, that keeps you up at night, that you're worried about. And when we look at these two cards together, there's a whole lot of swords. Swords is an air sign. I keep doing this backwards. Wands, there, fire, swords, air. Swords is a decisive energy, or can be a decisive energy. But this is instead of just like accepting what is, and instead of it's being overwhelmed by all the things that have been, you know, coming at you. So I feel like this is kind of where either some of you could be, where the collective is still kind of like reeling from the last couple of years, you know, and it's a lot. We have been through a lot. You as individuals in your own life experiences have been through a lot. Not to put silver linings or tasty lemonade on everything, but you are still here. You are still standing. And the thing is that you can say, yeah, I've learned a lot. I've experienced a lot. Wow, we've been through a lot. Now, am I going to just dwell in that? Am I going to just continue to carry all of the emotional baggage, the potentials, the possibilities, all of these things, these aspects, and I'm going to carry them around and eventually exhaust myself? And like, just imagine if you were carrying this big bundle of sticks, of staves, of wands. They're probably heavy. Dude's probably sweaty. And eventually I could see myself trying to carry this, and then I'm going to kind of slip and trip on something, and then I'm going to fall and spill all of them and make a mess of all of that. I would lay them down. I would lay them down. I would not let these thoughts, worries keep me up at night. This is saying what has happened. If you want to understand it and learn and integrate those lessons, do that. But don't let those things hold you back. They're experiences and lessons that are supposed to be, it is what it is, it was what it was, but now, do I want to be in that energy? If I don't, I am moving forward now. And I am, sometimes we are the creators of our own misery. And I'm not saying that, trauma, negative things that have happened to you or that you've witnessed is like all your fault. Not saying that. But I'm just saying, once you've identified and you've realized some even inkling of those lessons, of those experiences, then it is time to say, I choose healing and I choose moving forward, or I'm going to be burdened with this. It's a choice. It is an active choice, because the last card that I pulled is the Fool card. Okay? Fool's got a little stick, but he's got a knapsack on there, and he's got this happy little dog, and he's got some flowers in his hand, and the sun is shining, and he is like, F any worries at all. I am just stepping off into the void on my new journey. Every day is a new journey. Every opportunity is just like, the world is your oyster. So do you want to have this where you're like, oh my gosh, I've endured so much. Oh my gosh, I just I just can't keep everything straight. How am I going to move past this or whatever? Well, the thing is like, well, every day's a new day, and I am going to either embody this energy, or I'm just going to either have sleepless nights or exhaust myself. And this is a lot. This is a lot of accomplishment. This is a lot of lessons. I'm not saying that, sometimes we get really attached to that. Sometimes we're like, I survived this. I'm the victim of this. It could be health. It could be some kind of emotional thing or whatever. And sometimes humans tend to latch on to that they are that trauma or they are that illness and just say, that's what I am, or I'm a survivor of that thing, but this just intimately connected, instead of saying, that was me, that was my experience, I honor that, I acknowledge it, right? But unless you want to continue to identify with that and carry that energy into another experience, you got to let it go at some point. That was a different version of me. That was a different experience. That was a different part of my life. But that is not where I am now, and that is not where I'm wanting to go. We got new beginnings. That's where we're going. Let's see. One more card to see what we need to know. Anything else to either clarify or to build on what we need to know for the remainder of January. Let's set that intention. Be brave. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords can be definitely can be a passionate energy. There might be more leap and then think about it later type energy, but it is very passionate. It is very much just saying, okay, I've made a decision on this. Maybe it's not I don't even know if it's the best decision or not, or if it is the 100% most safe or accurate direction to go, but a decision needs to be made, and I've made a decision, and I'm going to go with it. And you know what the next step is, or a little bit, once this horse kind of slows his roll a little bit, because that horse is ready to go. Is the horse running the show, or are you leading the way onward with your sword? When you kind of get maybe to a little bit of a more resting pace after you've just kind of charged, okay, then it's let me see, where am I at? How does this feel? Is this still right? Is this the right path? Or if you're like, I think I took a wrong turn, or this is what not, not what I thought that it would be, or it doesn't feel like it's in alignment with me. Well, what do? You make another decision, and it could be an informed decision, but not so stuck that you're just like exhausted and like stressed and worried and like running yourself ragged with it. But it's saying, okay, this is with the information that I have, with trusting my intuition and my intelligence and what I know, and kind of reading the energy of the room. This is the next decision. This is the next step, the next direction that I'm taking. And then it's going, let me get there. If you had your horse pausing after every step, it would get distracted and it would eat a bunch of grass. Or think all of a sudden it was in charge and it would just do whatever it wanted. Number one, if you've ever been around horses. Now, if you kept your horse going one step at a time versus, let me go ahead, I'm well rested, the horse has got some inspiration and wants to run, this is the direction we need to go, let's get there. If you did just like clippity clop, it's going to take you months versus let's go for a sprint here and get there in, a half an hour, right? So it's like, how fast do you want to get there? How fast do you want to realize your intention? Do you want to, eventually you might get there, but like the energy that you have now and how things are all lined up right now can definitely change a lot once you finally get there. And it's not like you have to be in a total rush, but it's like if you feel confident enough and you are feeling pulled or led, you need to trust that and you need to go. And don't think about it too much. Go and then assess where you are in the next step. Okay? So I think that this is inspired thought, inspired action, trusting that. And this is saying, don't waste time. Don't waste your mental, emotional energy that is eventually going to drain you physically on what is the right decision, or do I have all the information? You probably have enough information. And if you don't, do the work that you need to do to get the right information and then take the next steps. Because if you just sit around and wait, that's your experience. You're stuck. You're not moving forward. And there are so many energies right now that are really here to uplift and support us in really making a lot of change, a lot of progress, a lot of growth. And like, it would kind of suck to miss out on that. All right. So I liked those cards. I liked the message that came through. I think that that's good. I was feeling kind of tired earlier today, and I'm definitely not tired now. This kind of stuff rejuvenates me. It's wonderful. So thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. Anyway, you all have a great evening, and I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.